I have theorised that I became a target for our deep estate's secret targeting programme after my attendance at an anti-capitalist protest in London Square Mile back in 2009, and where I and a few hundred others were kettled, which is a police tactic of imprisoning you outside for a number of hours. The purpose for attending that protest was to take photos for my web, photoslondon.com. Although it took about 3 years for me to learn about this illegal targeting program, I would pinpoint 2009 as the year these operations were green-lighted to F with my life. Now, any secret surveillance of me at home would have very likely had those running this punch in the air with delight and giving each other high fives, because, I'll be honest, I was a bit of a dirty, frustrated bastard back then. However, I was watching a fascinating documentary recently where one of the hosts had an encounter with an alien. Because of the language barrier, I don't think the male host realised the alien was having sex with him, and this encounter did leave the host somewhat traumatised. But he did recover, but then things did take a turn for the worse, because unbeknownst to the guy, this poor guy, he was about to give birth as a result of that coupling. The problem though was that, unlike today where some men have vaginas, this guy didn't, and there was a premature birth and there wasn't enough time to perform a caesarean, and the alien baby decided to pop out there and then, and he popped out of the poor guy's stomach, and this guy, Kane, sadly died giving birth. It was all very distressing. The remaining crew of this documentary, instead of deciding to become surrogate parents to this poor little terrified creature, instead wanted revenge for their now dead colleague. This wasn't a good idea, because the cute little thing was pretty good at evading their hapless attempts to capture it, and one by one, each person that took part in this documentary, which I believe was made in 1979 or around that time, was quickly dispatched by a rapidly growing, majestic beast keen on life preservation. Its life. Anyway, that was a long-winded way of arriving at another possible reason why I might be a target of our deeper state. I was in the car yesterday, resting my right leg against the steering wheel, when I noticed some very strange movements in my calf. It was fibrillating, and it looked like there was some form of life within. I was immediately reminded of that brilliant documentary featuring, among others, Kane and Ripley, and it occurred to me that some unscrupulous mad boffins working for the deep state might have somehow used me as a host for a unique, potentially deadly life form. And was this life form about to pop out of my calf and tear my throat apart? I got my camcorder ready and started recording just in case something happened. Fortunately, it was a false alarm. Nothing's happened yet, but I am keeping a close eye on things. I do worry though that if this alien decides to travel further up my leg, it might pop out something I'd rather it didn't. So guys, please pray for me. So we have two highly plausible reasons why I might have been selected to be a target or lab rat of our deeper state. A. I'm an expendable host for an alien life form, and B. My attendance at various protests around London, but particularly the 2009 G20 anti-capitalism demo, and publishing photos on my web could have placed me under some scrutiny from the police or intelligence agencies. So A or B? It's a close call, but I think one does edge it.